just dropped another $1,500 on car parts. Oh, it's getting painful. I need this stuff. It's stuff I need, but my wife last night, it's like, oh, it's starting to get warm. It's time to go on vacation. Listen, it's getting warm outside. I need to do car stuff. All that is to say, of course, that there's more stuff coming for the channel, so I hope you guys will subscribe. But today I'm talking about the best spoilers, the best rear spoilers for the Infiniti Q50. Speaking of spoilers, I need one for the Z as well, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments section below. But let's get to it. There's a few options out there for the Q50, but I think the Q50 requires a particular style of spoiler. I maybe shouldn't say requires a certain style, but I will say that there is a certain style of spoiler that just doesn't seem to work with the Q50. We'll talk about it in a minute. I'm going to start by saying that the Q50 actually, in my opinion, needs a rear spoiler. The car is very nose heavy, very like spatially. The car is long in the front and kind of has a stubby rear end, so it sort of needs a spoiler to finish it off. This is a non-sport base model Q50 from the factory, no spoiler. It just did not sit well with me. It was one of the first modifications that I had to make to this car. The first addition was add a spoiler to add a little bit of weight spatially to that rear end, just to sort of balance things out. And I think what the spoiler I went with is a good option. I'm going to start the list with that. Sort of a more of an OEM style, basic low profile spoiler that just adds a little bit of length to that rear end. The spoiler I chose actually came mostly kind of straight off the deck lid. Wasn't very aggressive at all. Just kind of, again, added a little bit of length to the rear end. But there are some options available now that have just a little bit of a kick up, a little bit of a touch up, giving it sort of a more aggressive look. I'll be flashing pictures around here, but I think that would be my preference. Overall, I like the OEM kind of style spoiler, just a basic little rear spoiler. But if it had a little bit of a kick up, that would be my preference. The one that I don't like is where it sort of has the cutout of the emblem, cutout around the emblem. I think that's unnecessary. It doesn't have to go that low, and I don't like that texture and that change in the deck lid. I'd rather just that spoiler just sort of cut off at the angle down of the deck lid, if that makes any sense. The second one I'll mention is very, very popular. And again, for all of these, there are many different sellers across all these platforms that you can find these spoilers at. There's some eBay ones, there's some Amazon ones that are decent. There's other, obviously, Q50 sort of specific vendors like Jalisco's Carbon Fiber that sell spoilers, for example, and others out there. And I'll put links in the description to some of them and some that I, like the best. So check out the description after this video. But the second one I'm going to say is the M-style spoiler. A lot of people really like this. It's a little bit more aggressive than an OEM style. It sort of has those little points on it, just a little bit of a texture, a little bit of additional character to that spoiler. A lot of people like it. They come in a range of color options, either paint matched or black or carbon fiber, forged carbon fiber. There's all sorts of them out there, but the overall M style spoiler is very popular in the Q50s, and I think they look pretty decent. Now, before I get to my favorite one, I want to mention, like I said at the beginning of this video, that there are some spoilers that just don't seem to work for the Q50. And those are sort of those high-rise, real platformy, big wang spoilers. They just don't make sense on this car unless you have the other aesthetic modifications made that sort of complement that. If you have some real aggressive splitters and canards and stuff like that, carbon fenders, they're just things that sort of balance things out, I guess is what I'm getting at. But there's some that look really, really cheap. So there's some kind of big wings that can pop up off the deck lid that look okay with this car, especially when coordinated with other aesthetic modifications. But there's some that just look cheap and poor and ill thought out and poorly fitted. I would just stay away from those. Now, finally, we're here to my personal favorite. Now, there's two parts to this, so just follow along with me. Don't leave yet. My personal favorite rear spoiler for the Q50 is the high kick duckbill spoiler. Of course, that's what I have. I chose it for a reason. Now, again, you can find this across a number of different sellers, from eBay and Amazon to Jalisco's Carbon Fiber, South Bay Auto Works. There's a whole bunch of them out there where you can find this style of spoiler, and I'll put links in the description below again. They're difficult to find, though, because once they become available, they sell quickly. They're very, very popular. And they seem to only come in carbon fiber, which sucks. I know Jalisco's Carbon Fiber has come out with a black one. The style that he offers is a nice high kick duckbill, but it kind of tails off a little more aggressively straight up the back of the car, which I actually like. But I do like the high kick ones as well. They kind of more of an aggressive slope up. and that's what I chose personally. It's my favorite. I think this Q50, again, being so nose heavy spatially in terms of its design, not weight, not physical weight, it needs something aggressive in the back. It needs a little, just needs some more character, a bigger design element in the rear to sort of balance the front and the back of the car out visually. I think the high kick duckbill spoiler is substantial enough to do that. And again, there's a number of places that you can find to purchase this. Now, the second part that I want to mention about this high kick duckbill spoiler is that ultimately what would really be awesome is getting the carbon fiber deck lid with the spoiler built in or molded into it. I think that's a really sweet look. It looks really clean, classy. It looks well done. It makes the car well put together, look well put together, and not just, sticking a piece of plastic on with some two-sided tape. It's hard for me personally to justify $1,200 or $1,500 or $2,000 for one of these, carbon fiber deck lids, and I'm not a big carbon fiber fan, so I'd probably want to paint it or wrap it anyway. So it just doesn't make sense to me, but I think the best look, if we're talking just the best look, that's probably it. Like I said, guys, the Q50 seems to need a spoiler on the rear of this car. Let me know in the comment section below what your preference is in terms of spoiler, and don't forget to check out the links in the description below if you're interested in any of these that I discussed today. There's a lot of options out there, and these are just a few. And again, you can get them from a number of different vendors, so choose your preference. And let me know again what your favorite one is. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate the continued support. Onward and upward. We're almost at 19,000 subscribers right now. Probably hit 19,000 before this video is uploaded, so I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the new ones jumping on a regular basis. Onward and upward for Speed Culture Studios, and onward and upward for you guys as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.